All right, guys, we are back in my garage for another video, and today we are going to be upgrading my dash camera setup. For those of you that don't know, I have Blackvue dash cameras in my car, and a part of that setup is running the B-124X battery pack. Now, the purpose of this battery pack is to power the dash cam while the car is off. It doesn't need to be used in order to use parking mode, but normally it's basically going to be pulling power from your car's battery in order for it to keep the dash camera recording. By using these battery packs, you take the load off of your car's electrical system, and this will power it in the background so that you can get hours of parking mode without, any stress on your car's battery. However, Blackvue has upgraded their battery pack offering to the new B-130X option. And so I'm going to be upgrading to this and just taking a look at some of the differences between the two and discussing why you might want to upgrade if you already have the B-124X to get the benefits that the B-130X comes with. So we'll talk about it in this video, and hopefully you guys find this useful. Now, as always, for everybody that's new to the channel, I create these videos to help keep you updated on the latest developments in our community, as well as discuss technical topics so that we have a better understanding of how our engines work. So if you're interested in more videos like that, be sure to subscribe because there will be a lot more coming out in the future. All right, now we are going to go ahead and review the new B-130X Blackvue backup battery. Now, before we jump into this, I do just want to remind you guys I am a Blackvue ambassador. So if you guys are interested in buying any Blackvue products, use my link down in the description and you will find my coupon code for 10% off any order that you place for your Blackvue product. So that includes this battery, dash cams, accessories, anything you find on the website. So thank you again to everybody that has supported so far. And let's go ahead and open up this box. All right, so as usual, everything is packaged really well. There's a lot of wiring, which we'll discuss a little bit more about the different wiring options that you have, but this is a kit that can be hardwired to your fuse box, or it can be just plugged into your cigarette lighter. So really nice, convenient way to use multiple options depending on what you prefer. And then here is the actual battery. So very cool, we'll put that aside. Let's open this up. All right, very slick, nice matte finish all the way around, as you can see. Pretty simple design. So really quick, just talking about this battery pack. So there are a couple main features about this. This is a battery pack made with lithium iron phosphate cells. And the reason why they went with those cells is because if you guys have seen, lithium ion cells are not very good with high heat scenarios. So depending on where you store this, it can experience a lot of heat, especially in a parked car, out in the middle of summer and things like that. So they went with lithium iron phosphate cells to make sure that this could handle any sort of conditions that you could experience when your car is parked, at any time of the year. These are high capacity batteries, so in this small casing, it's able to hold a really long charge. And the way that this works is while you're driving, this battery charges up, and when you turn your car off, it basically puts power out to your dash cam. So that makes sure that you're able to power your dash cam when it's in parking mode without putting any stress on your car's actual battery. So especially cars like mine, I have a BMW, it has very sensitive electronic systems, and I don't want my dash cam pulling a lot of power from the car's battery while the car is turned off. So this takes all of the load off of my car's electrical system so that my dash cam can be powered as long as possible using this backup battery, and it doesn't impact anything else. So let's go ahead and do the comparison with my B-124X. So this is the battery pack that I've been using for the past almost 2 years, I believe. And you can see just from a form factor, they're pretty similar. The B-124X is thicker and it is also a little bit wider, but it's obviously shorter. So this battery pack is taller, or longer in this direction, and the overall volume that this battery takes up is less. So the goal was being able to easily slide it in, kind of like another book or pamphlet or something, into your glove box if you want to store this there. Also easier to store like under your seat and things like that. So the thinner profile makes it easier to fit in a lot of locations. Now, if we look at the connections, let's see if I can hold this up. So you can see there are a couple differences. The power in is pretty much the same. Then you've also got the power output to your dash cam, which on the B-124X, it's relocated, but it's basically the same plug. And then you also have this USB outlet on both of them. So you can use that to charge up your phone, or if you have an external like wireless hotspot that you want your dash cam to use for cloud service, you can also plug that into there and it'll keep it powered on. So you always have a Wi-Fi signal in the car. Now this turns the battery on or off. So if you don't want it used, you can basically turn it on or turn it off. Here, you're basically going to be able to turn it off or set it to cigarette lighter charging, which is a slower charge speed, or hardwired, which is how I had mine installed. So it'll do a faster charge speed. So you can set that on the battery here. On here you can't, but it's actually an upgrade, which I will explain a little bit more as well. And then finally, one drawback that a lot of people have mentioned is this one, the B-124X, was expandable. So you could plug in multiple B-124X battery packs together and get really long storage time. So if you want your car to literally be able to record for days in parking mode, you could set that up. And that has been removed in the B-130X version of the battery pack. Now, I never used that feature, so it doesn't really bother me, but that is one thing to keep in mind. So looking at them side by side, let's talk more about like the actual performance features. So things that are similar, the charging speed is the same. So like I said, if you put it on the cigarette lighter charging speed, it will charge at 5 amps. If you hardwire it, it will charge at 9 amps. So hardwiring is the way to go if you're able to get that done, because it will charge a lot faster and get full so that you have the most battery power when you put your car in parking mode. Also, they're both compatible with 12 volt and 24 volt systems. So it works with regular passenger cars, but it also works with some commercial trucks and things like that. And you're also able to use the Blackvue apps to see the battery percentage. So if you're ever curious about how much charge is on the batteries, both of these work with the Blackvue apps. So you can log in and see how much charge your battery has and how long it should last. Now, some of the big differences and upgrades to the B-130X is it has 25% more capacity. That's basically the biggest upgrade. So this one has a 6,000 milliamp hour battery. This one has a 7,500 milliamp hour battery. So overall, that just means that it will hold a longer charge so that it can power your dash cam for longer, so that you can enjoy a longer parking mode. Now, the actual charging speed is the same, like I said, so it does take longer to reach a full charge on this battery. And if you charge both of them for the same amount of time, then it will power your dash cam for the same amount of time as well. But, if you get an extra 10 minutes, you can basically take 50 minutes to charge this up to its full capacity, and then it will give you 25% longer powered time for your dash cam. So it takes longer to charge, but it also gives you a longer parking mode when it's fully charged. Now, like I said, this one is smaller, but it is also heavier, and that's just because they've increased the density and the actual amount of batteries in this version of the battery pack. So, just keep that in mind. You're not really holding it, so weight isn't really a huge issue, but that is a difference. Also, the automatic charging detection is a nice feature upgrade. So, like I said, if you look at this switch, you have to manually set whether you're charging it through the cigarette lighter or hardwiring it. On this battery, all you do is turn it on and it'll automatically detect whether it's hardwired or plugged into the cigarette lighter. So you'll never have to worry about, setting that incorrectly. And also, one nice thing is, even though both of these work with Blackvue apps, this battery pack has a much more reliable and accurate measurement of the battery charge. So some people reported that when using the app with the B-124X, sometimes it seemed like it didn't charge at, a constant rate, or it pushed out power at an uneven speed, you know, and it might show 50% after 3 hours, but then an hour later it's almost empty. It didn't really make sense how it was, you know, charging faster at some times and slower at other times. This one will be much more accurate, so it should show a much more linear charge speed as well as a much more linear power output. So you'll be able to rely on that a lot more, and it'll give you basically a much more expected pace of charging and discharging speed. But yeah, with that in mind, I'm going to be upgrading to the B-130X. I think this will be a nice benefit for me simply because I know charging will be the same speed. So no matter what, it won't hurt my actual parking mode time. But if I do drive the car for longer periods, I will get that additional parking mode capability. So it's kind of a win-win for me, easier to fit in my glove box since that's where I install it. And it's just a little bit harder to mess up with the automatic charging detection and things like that. So again, I will have a link to this down in the description if you guys are interested in purchasing it. But yeah, I think that's it for this video. So thank you guys for watching, and I hope this helps. And if you have any other questions or comments, leave them down below.